Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm closing out Paycheck 1, I'm setting up Paycheck 2, and I'm going to discover if I have enough to cover everything I would like to have available, not just for the bills, but for my spending categories in the next 2 weeks for Paycheck 2. Now my Paycheck 2 has already begun yesterday. Today is Saturday when this is going up, and normally I have it done Thursday or Friday, so I'm a little bit behind. Already done some spending, but that's okay. I can still set up my Paycheck 2 and figure out the total for the next 2 weeks and discover if I need to cut back a little bit in my spending areas so that I can finish off strong and not go over budget for Paycheck 2. And that is the goal today. So if you want to see that, stick around. Okay, here we are. So Paycheck 1. Not much difference as far as income. Everything was the same except for the 3 cents in dividends that I didn't actually have the number for here at the beginning. So really it's exact same number except for 3 more pennies. So I'm going to go ahead and total that up, which is $4,913.07. So that's not too bad there. That is the income we're working with to make sure we were in balance here. And as far as I can tell, we're definitely in balance. We have money left over that will be balanced for to Paycheck 2. So now I need to figure that amount out so that I have accurate numbers on what my checking account says before the deposit and after the deposit. So that way I'm working with accurate numbers for my bills and spending. I went ahead and gave myself a note here, down here at the bottom. I did make a credit card payment in that amount. That was everything except for the unbudgeted, which I am kind of carrying over week to week until I figure out a plan, which I think I have a plan at the end of this month to pay off, and I'll talk about that at the end of the month. Now let's go ahead and put down my spending for Paycheck 1. I did put 0 here for HP Insta Ink. Normally it comes out during Paycheck 1, but it came out a few days later, so I moved it over so I can get accurate numbers. So I zeroed that out and rewrote the actual number here, which is why I have that starred. That was not part of my previous. And here you're going to see a little bit higher than what I had planned for Dr. Odell, which is our chiropractor. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Sticky note. And I just left myself a note to remind myself that we did spend more at the chiropractor because they accidentally kind of double charged us for my husband's visit. They charged him twice. Well, not twice. They made one charge, but they charged him double, and we're not sure what happened there. But that was not a problem. He didn't get charged this last Friday on this paycheck period, so that was not a problem. So it kind of worked itself out. Luckily, it went on the credit card and not the checking account, and so it didn't actually interfere with anything. I'm going to go ahead and put the totals for grocery household. I'll have to turn this a little bit just to right to make it a little more comfortable. But if you take week 1 and week 2 of the grocery household, our total between those 2 weeks was $467.55. Restaurants for the 2 weeks was pretty good, pretty low actually, $123.10. Miscellaneous was excellent. I really refrained from a lot of spending, and that is $6.76. If you want to know what these were, check out my week 1 and 2. I did that kind of combined. It was actually just a weekly check-in for week 2 because I only had one transaction in week 1, but you can see all the numbers there. Gasoline, beginning of the month, was $40.20. That was my husband's driving back and forth to work. Copay, some prescriptions, $33.66. Now I am putting 0 for unbudgeted. There was an unbudgeted item. I bought tickets to GalaxyCon for me and my son. If you don't know what that is, a con is basically a place where you can get autographs and do meet and greets and meet celebrities and athletes or whatever, and then artists and comic books, and there's all kinds of things happening there. So my son and I love to go every year, and I went ahead and bought our tickets. So I think I explained the pricing and how that worked out in my previous weekly check-in video. So you can check that out. So here are all the numbers. So let me see if I can get everything on camera here. There we go. All right, now that everything's on camera, I know this number is accurate here because I just ran the numbers earlier. I'm going to add this plus these actuals, and then we're going to have a total, and that's going to give me my balance forward after we subtract it from what income came in. So let's see if I did my numbers right. I'm going to total this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, looks like I got my numbers right, I hope. $4,675.31. All right, let's write that down here. 531. Okay, and I'm going to find the difference between what I spent and what the income is. $4,913.07. And there we go. This is how much money balanced forward. I know it says negative, but really I just did them in reverse order. So that's not a big deal. I'm going to take this off because I don't need that reminder there. And I'm going to go ahead and write this number here. So there we go. $237.76. There we go. That is what I'm balancing forward to Paycheck 2, and that's what was sitting in my checking account before the salary got deposited. So I'm not going to do, I'm going to put the same number for estimate and actual because I'm doing this later, but you can do an estimated version of this a few days before and see the difference between what you thought and what actually happened. But since we're already here, I'm just going to go ahead and write both of the number down. $237.76, and that is the actual. I did make double check that with the bank account. And then my husband got paid $2,552.36. I want to make sure that's right real quick. Let's see, because I haven't checked it off on here. Yeah, $2,552.36. There we go. So that's his first salary check. He gets 2 salary checks a month, unless it's one of those odd months where you get 3. So there you go. And that is the actual $2,552.36. Now we don't expect any other income, but I'm going to budget 0 here, and we're just going to total these two numbers. I'm going to leave that blank until the end of the paycheck period. That way, if something does come in, I can go ahead and include it there. So that is $2,552.36 and $237.76. So there we go. This is the number we're working with. 2,000. Put that aside real quick. $2,790.12. Now I need to fill in all these bills. I did go ahead and put in HP Instant. I knew I moved it from Paycheck 1 to 2, and I just kind of put it over here. Even though it was a fixed expense, I didn't want to move my stickers, so that's why I put that there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and write these down, and I will be right back. Okay, there we go. So this is all the bills, and we also include our tithing in this to make sure we're doing that first. And so there's our tithing to $256. That was for my husband's salary check that came in. Roth IRA, this is what I'm putting into savings. I haven't done it yet. I need to make that transfer when I'm done with this video. Geico is going to come out. That's our car insurance. Dr. Odell's our chiropractor. This is a lot higher than I thought I was going to plan from the beginning of the month. So what I had done this yesterday was Friday, so we see him every Friday. So $45 is my normal visit. I added another $40 yesterday for x-rays because there was something going on with my neck that what we were doing was not helping. It was staying the same. So, and then $45 for the second visit next Friday during this paycheck period, and then my husband's regular $25. So that's why it came up to $155 this time period, because I added x-rays, and that worked out pretty well. So there you go. Next, I have AT&T. AT&T is our cell phone service. This also includes 2 phones for $15 a month for 36 months. So that's going to be several months that we're going to have it at this level. But it's actually cheaper than paying it off, because if I pay it off too soon, I would have to pay an extra $150 per phone, and I'm not doing that. So I'll leave the $15 on there. That's fine. Discovery Plus, $6.99. Life insurance for the family, $87.56. My husband's subscription, and then electric, it dropped quite a bit. We didn't have a cold snap, but it's still pretty high, $197.35. It's been in the 30s and 40s. It's been crazy weather here. I'm still getting used to Kentucky after leaving the coast of Virginia, and this new winter pattern. It's aggravating my allergies and my sinuses, and I'm really struggling here. So, and it may be all the wood burning fireplaces around me, and my house just, I don't know, is still getting into the house or something. Because I'm allergic to smoke and all the good things with winter, so that kind of stinks. Vivint is our home security system, $65.82, and so I'm going to go ahead and total all this up, and I'm just going to leave that over there because it's not a whole heck of a lot, but yeah, it's $1,410.28. So I'm going to put that number down here as this total of what our fixed should be. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the budgeted amounts over here, and that is going to come from I already started putting transactions there, my weekly check-in. So what I have to do is take week 3 and week 4 is going to be Paycheck 2. So week 3, I discovered $312.45 was groceries, plus another $260 for the whole paycheck period, giving me $572.45. So that is what I'm going to put right here. And then let's see, I have $176.90 plus another 100. That gives me $276.90 for restaurants, and then $293.24 plus another 100 for this week gives me $393.24. And then gas, where did I leave off with gas? I'm gonna have to look over here on my laptop. Okay, so gas, I had it looks like I had $59.80 left over, plus another, well, I don't have it written here, plus another 100 that I budgeted, so it's gonna be $159.80. Yeah, for gasoline for this week, or the next 2 weeks. And then the copay, which I don't have here, is the $80 or $86.34. I normally track it here, but since I only have so much room, and I always do a 5-week based on how my husband gets paid, I don't have those on here. So that's going to be the only difficult thing for me, is I'm going to have to go back to my computer and see what I have on my spreadsheet to make sure I have the right number for the paycheck period. So there's that. I'm not going to budget anything for unbudgeted, even though we already have one. I'll explain that in a little bit. And let's go ahead and total this up. All right, so that's the number, $1,495.08. So I'm going to add that to this number, 1410.28. Do I have enough? Ooh, not enough. So I'm going to have to be careful this month, or delay paying it off until paying on some of the spending on Paycheck 3. So it's going to be a pretty tight month for February, just because a lot of things are happening and a lot of decisions have been made. But because we put all our spending on our credit card and then pay it off weekly, if we decide to use it to help us get through something, then we can, as long as we have a plan to pay it off, and as long as we have all the cash to pay it off. I've never had an interest charge on the credit card since I started doing this, and it's been a couple of years now, over a couple of years. It's been like almost 3 years now. But I took 2 or more years just to use my debit card only, to train my brain and my mind and my thought process to use only cash. That was the first step in getting myself to the point where I was responsible with a credit card. So I had to train myself. I only have a certain amount of cash. This is all I'm going to use. Even though my credit card has a high credit limit, does not mean I should be using it in that way, unless I have a plan and the cash to pay it off. So that is the rule I've set for myself. And right now I'm seeing it creep up pretty quick. So it really kind of brings anxiety on me, that not bad anxiety, but like good anxiety, like, oh, I really need to pay attention to this. I'm not comfortable with this. Let me slow down and figure this out. So that's kind of important. Let's see, let's take that number and I'm going to subtract that $2,790.12. So it's $115.24 over budget. I need to find, where my sticky notes go? Let's see what Sara Marie's got. I'm looking at my sticker stash over here. Can use so many choices. Okay, that's from this. Maybe I'll use one of these. So I don't typically use these. These are for the compact vertical life planners from Erin Condren. So I'm going to use this. It's a removable adhesive. It goes with this color palette too. So I'm going to make a note over here that our estimated, estimated budget, a negative. Now I gotta find my red pen. I am not prepared today, that's for sure. I like using the red to make it stand out. Even though this doesn't show negative on here, it actually is negative because I took these two and subtracted the income. So it's going to be negative 115.24. So that's going to remind me in my spending categories to make sure I am saving at least that to cover everything that I need, or delay paying the credit card until Paycheck 3, and then I can reduce it by that much. So if I spend everything, which I don't think I will, but I am coming up with a long list of unbudgeted items, but they're necessary items. So so that was, let me get my calculator again. Income was $2,000, right? $790.12 minus those two numbers again, which were, trying to figure out how to get everything on screen. There we go. $1,410.28 plus $1,495.08. There we go. Let's see. $2,905.36, and that equals a negative 115.24. So that is very important to know, so I can keep in mind, how am I juggling this? How am I going to pay for it before the end of the month, and stay within budget and categories. So sometimes you just don't have enough in one paycheck period in order to do this. And this is me not using a buffer. When I start February 1st, I started February 1st at 0. So I'm really trying to use just the income that comes in February. I typically have a buffer in my account, but I find that sometimes if it's too large, or if I keep a buffer, I'm like, oh, the buffer will take care of it and absorb it. and then I don't get to put as much into savings. So this time I'm trying something new, and hopefully this will kind of adjust my thought process on that. But this is the paycheck. This is the paycheck budget. This is the estimated budget amount. And that is what I'm going to have left or not have left if I spend every penny that I plan. The good news is I don't have to spend every penny in these categories. These categories are very flexible. Like miscellaneous is really high, even though I did spend quite a bit today in miscellaneous. I bought my April Sara Marie stickers. So for my budget and for my life planners, I have two. I have compact vertical and I have the hourly. So I buy a lot of stickers, and I tend to buy them all at once. And this weekend is her launch for April, new stickers, and they're awesome. They're so cute. Cute Easter kit, cute all the things. So that's going to be really fun. And so, yeah, all I got to do is pay attention. How much am I really working with here? To be honest, if I really want to know, I can take my bills out of this, 279012, minus the 141028, and I have $1,300 to spend on all 6 of my spending categories. And that should get me through, well, if I divide that by 2, that's about $689 a week. So no, that's not nearly enough, I don't think, for groceries and for all the fun stuff. So, and the necessities. So yeah, I'm gonna really have to pay attention how I spend. Some of it I might have to just wait until paycheck 3 to pay for, and then do that, because most everything goes on the credit card. Now all this stuff is the checking account. So the only thing that's really going on the credit card is this and this, the subscriptions. I think that's on the credit card. Yeah. So I do have some flexibility. Not all the money is going to be drained out of the checking account, but I will pay these bills first, and the spending categories all at once once a week, and then that will tell me, what do I have to pay attention to as I'm going week to week. And that's why the weekly check-in is so important, and looking at the budget frequently. So that is that. So as I'm thinking about all the spending and the over budgets and unbudgeted items, the one thing I haven't really written down anywhere in here, well, except for here, I'll give you a sneak peek. Or did I? Yeah, I did. Here on the weekly or the spending calendar that I put all my spending and track it. On Friday, I did have my taxes done, and I paid somebody to do them. I had state taxes from 2 different states. We have military retirement, and we have my husband's job in both states, and all these different things. And I'm going, okay, now what? It's like, okay. So I didn't feel up to or felt comfortable with being accurate doing my own taxes this year. It was a little more complicated than previous years. So I decided, you know what, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to go to a tax preparer and say, hey, I need you to do my taxes. So I picked a pretty decent company, White and Associates here in Richmond, where I live, and they did a good job. They really did everything. Of course, I gave them everything that they needed. It was $225, which may sound like a lot, which it really is. But when I Googled average tax return preparer or average payment to someone who prepares your taxes, the average cost was anywhere from $200 to $350, I think. So it was right in that range. They weren't charging anything more than any other CPA tax preparer kind of company. So I thought, okay, well, if that's the average, then that's fine. So anyway, so we are getting a tax return. I don't know what we're doing with the money. I don't know what all that's going to be just yet. So let's kind of figure that out together. And this is something I have to prepare for in the future. So 6/31 is our federal return. $352 is our Kentucky state tax return, and then $818 was our Virginia state tax return. So we got $1,800 back, which is pretty good. I'm gonna write that number down real quick. Oops. I got so many pens and so many colors. I try to keep them all together. There we go. I wanted it to be matchy-matchy. $1,801. All right, so that's the return. And now I'm going to subtract the $225 I already paid it, but I'm going to pay back the credit card with the tax return money. So in total, we actually got $1,576. So that is the total for the tax return that we get to keep and use. And I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what we're doing with it. I think we're just going to put it aside, and then when inspiration hits us on a decision to make between me and my husband, then we'll make the decision then. I might split this in half. One thought I had was splitting it in half. Let my husband have half, and then I have half to go towards GalaxyCon with me and my son. And then the other half he can use to do fishing and hiking and activities with my other son. Usually my youngest is closer to my husband, and they do a lot of activities together. And the oldest is with me, and we do activities together. So it's just kind of how the dynamic of the relationship worked out. And so I think that'd be a cool thing to do, activities with the guys during the spring and summer, and just kind of split this in half. That would be one way of doing it. We don't need it for the emergency fund because we're only doing 8 months of salary, and that'll be fully funded by the end of this month, I'm pretty sure, right at 8 months salary. So that's pretty good. And then after that, it's just, funding the activities for spring and summer, and maybe even into the fall. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. So that is the budget. There we go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.